Hi everyone, welcome back to another speed build. My name is Ash and I'm known as Frimlin, and hopefully you've seen some of my other speed builds before. Otherwise, welcome, and I hope you enjoy this. A couple of days ago I had a poll on my Twitter account, and I basically asked everyone what my next build should be. And my previous poll I had mentioned doing a vintage glamour apartment, and it was the second highest on that list, so I kind of expanded the selection this time with this new poll, and I asked if people would prefer that I made a very expensive vintage glamour apartment, or a more affordable one, or an expensive penthouse, or a more affordable one. And the expensive apartment won out, so here I am making the expensive apartment for you. And I didn't really want to do one of those two-story apartments because I don't like that it's in two separate builds. You know, when you place it on the gallery. So I thought, and also if you want an apartment, I think you're thinking about a single floor apartment. Maybe I should have made that part of the poll. But I decided to do a single floor apartment anyway, so it was a bit of a challenge then, trying to get all the expensive items into the apartment space. But I managed it somehow, and you can tell me whether you agree or not. Anyhow, it looks like I'm looking around the kitchen at first, trying to get that just right. And because it's a vintage glamour because it's a vintage glamour build, and it's in an apartment, I limited myself to using just items from vintage glamour, funnily enough, and city living, and the base game. So I really wanted to have some other items from some other packs, but I decided at the very start that that's what I'd limit myself to, because I knew there was going to be enough in there to make it interesting. And one thing I really wanted to make sure of in an expensive kind of apartment build is that there was some fun activities that were expensive, like for example karaoke, because it's got the city living expansion pack stuff. You can put a karaoke machine in there, no problem. And you can put the globe bar, of course, from the vintage glamour, and the vanity table. Those are kind of a given for this vintage glamour build. And in this case, for this apartment, I used two vanity tables. If you think that the second one is too girly or want to remove it from the main bedroom, please go ahead. Be my guest. Make your room more masculine or neutral or whatever. Anyway, so after I'd been finished mostly with the kitchen, I moved on to a little bit of time in the study area and the main bathroom. And the main bathroom is going to be probably quite busy because there are 3 bedrooms in the build. One of them being a kid's room that has 2 small beds, so that's 2, 3, possibly 4 if there's 2 in that bed. There's at least 5 people could be living in this house. Sorry, this apartment. And so I was a bit wary of privacy issues in the bathroom, but at least the main bedroom has an ensuite. Yes, even in this tiny apartment, the main bedroom has an ensuite. So that's cool. So yeah, this is the first build where I've used that big portrait, the Marilyn Monroe-like portrait. But I thought if I was going to use it, maybe I should use it in this build. I'm not sure about it. But I'm looking at it thinking, I'm not sure, I'm really not sure. But I'm going to leave it, I think. Maybe. So, of course, using City Living allowed me to have those shiny wooden floors. And, just so you know, those shiny floors are basketball court floors. But they look so good. So I put them in anyway. But I was thinking about that, I was thinking maybe I shouldn't have them so shiny, but I think that really added to the style. So in this study room, there's actually no windows and you can't put any in. So I had to make it as bright as I could with lighting, and I've got some little windows going into the kitchen as well. I just wanted to encourage some more light into the room, and I didn't want you to feel claustrophobic when you're in there. You know, there has to be enough in there to distract you, so that you're not thinking, "Where's the window? Help! I'm stuck!" You know, something like that. I don't suffer from any kind of claustrophobia, but I can imagine people that do, and it doesn't feel good when I imagine it. So it looks like I'm in the bedroom now, in the main bedroom, and keen to use that, what would I call it, light jade? No, baby green? I don't know, but the greeny coloured items that came with Vintage Glamour, just because I've done a pink main bedroom before, and yeah, I was tempted to do like a white one or a black one, but I thought no, not doing a black one, because I've had a few comments about my builds being dark, and you know, they weren't rude comments, they were just people saying, oh, I don't really like the dark style, but it looks good, you know. So I wanted to show that I could do something that's not just dark. Well, if you look back at my builds, I mean, I have got lots of builds that are quite light and airy, so I'm not worried about proving that. Oh look, what am I placing on that desk? Looked like some presents for a second. Christmas presents. Why would I do that? So at the end of this video, I haven't actually gone back and completely decorated, and I think when I do the playtesting I will add in some more decorations. But yeah, I just wanted this room to be really luxury and soft, but not too feminine, so I was trying out different things with the floor. I think probably the white carpet was too much for me, and it kind of goes against the spirit of the rest of the house with the wooden floors, so I think the wooden floors eventually took over. I actually had a lot of fun with this build. It's funny because I wasn't really feeling it. For a couple of days I've been kind of dragging my feet thinking, I don't really want to build this apartment. I mean, I did want to build it, but it's just I didn't want to build it then. And also, if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that I quite like doing starter homes, and lots of them. So I was quite keen to do more Vintage Glamour starter homes. And so in the end I thought, hey, I'll just make a few starter homes then, you know, because I don't want to feel like just because I do a poll on Twitter that I'm then, you know, required to make the build straight away. I did do that the other day with the restaurant, the Vintage Glamour restaurant Chez Glamour, but I just thought that if I start setting this precedent that I'm always going to be very responsive and building straight away, that, you know, it's definitely not going to be something I can keep doing forever. So I've got some time to myself to, you know, to spend some time in the moment. I'm not going to have time in the future, and in the future I'll have to just do it sporadically like I was doing before, you know, little spurts and then gaps. But for now I've got the time to continue doing some nice builds. Well, some builds that I think are nice. Sorry. And so yeah, anyway, thought it would be good to make some more builds anyway. So I made this Art Deco starter home yesterday, I think it was, and just a different style of Art Deco, smaller, whiter build, and quite like the feel of that. But I just wanted to do something different from Vintage Glamour, so then I did another house where I was, it's called Heartland House, and it's a very traditional kind of base game only items But yeah, back to this build. So you can see I finished up a couple more bedrooms. So there's like a bedroom for let's just say there's a pink bedroom for someone who prefers pinker things, maybe a teenager. It could be the oldest child in the house or something like that. And then there's like a kids room with two rather neutral looking beds, and the kids room isn't that playful. It's still got quite a formal look to it. You can see kind of like one of the parents is very neat and tidy and makes sure that the kids room is also very neat and tidy too. You just get that feeling of a parent that's being kind of over tidy with their kid's life. So yeah, in the dining room, this was going to be all part of the same big room, but then I got the feeling that it was too big a room, and I sometimes don't like having to make some kind of artificial break between rooms, to kind of measure out the space and say this is the dining area. So I thought, let's just make it a room, and then it's definitely that is the dining room. Focus on dining in that room. But there also has to be space around there for the Sims to walk around, because they'll be going between the kitchen and the dining room, the dining room and the lounge, and all of those places in the hallway. And I'm sorry about the hallway being so thin, but in the end I just thought that's a sacrifice you're making for living in an apartment. Rather than making the rooms smaller, I thought it'd be better for the hallway to be smaller, so it's only very, very thin hallway. So I placed this kind of nice lounge area by the windows in the lounge, and then I realised that'd be quite a good spot to put the karaoke machine. So I moved that. Actually, I take away all that other sofa area, even though I quite like how it looks. And I see this when I'm doing speed build commentary. I look back on the build and I'm like, why did I remove that? I really liked it. Sometimes I should just leave it how it is. Anyhow, it looks like we're coming up to the end of the build. My video will just suddenly cut at that point, but I'll try and do some commentary. In my last video, the commentary didn't record, which is really annoying. But by the time I'd rendered the video, I was like, God, I really want to go to bed. I don't have the time to do some more commentary and then wait for it to render out again. So hopefully it'll be all smooth with the screenshots. Oh look, there's a Christmas tree. What's going on? Well, I just thought that it's about that time of year, and I need to do some kind of Christmassy build, right? And this isn't the Christmassy build, but I just thought it'd be nice to have a little touch of Christmas in here. So it's mostly expensive luxury, vintage glamour apartment with a bit of city living stuff, but then it's got just a touch of Christmas, because it kind of goes with the idea of one of the parents being a bit over tidy, and he or she wanted to make sure that there is a touch of Christmas, but it's not too much that it spoils the style. Anyway, thank you so much everyone for watching and for liking my stuff in the gallery and leaving your comments. They're so sweet, most of them. So here's the entrance and the kitchen. Leading through to the study. Here's the study and the main bedroom and the secondary bedroom, the kids' bedroom, and another view, the main bathroom, the dining room, and the lounge. And there's the Christmas tree and the karaoke machine and the layout from above. Thanks a lot everyone, have a great day, bye bye.